right, sorry about that. Are we good? Are we good? All right, are we good? We're good? Stockler, thank you for taking over my job today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for greeting everybody, knowing that something would happen. Thank you very much. I appreciate you helping me out with the job. Thank you greatly. Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome in. Your lip reading's improved. Oh my gosh. Chat's gaslighting you? I still don't hear you? Right, Yeah, everyone else is gaslighting me. Right. Yep, definitely. Thank you, Stockler. Thank you for greeting everybody in. I appreciate it. How is everybody doing today? Everything according to plan. Hope you're having a great day today. Thank you, Trion. I hope you are too. I feel better today because I think we are in a good place with this painting. I think we are like, I know I've talked about this before. You have like an ugly phase in painting where things just like don't look great at a certain point. So, I feel like we got out of the ugly phase in the painting, and now we're at the point where we're sort of like cleaning things up, making things look better. I revisited the color. I'm feeling good about the color. I think it's like in a good place as we continue forward. I'm excited about it. Making a birthday poster for an acquaintance. That's nice. I think a lot of what we're going to be doing today is line art stuff, which normally I am like too nervous to do on stream, but I think we'll be okay today. I'm going to try a new line art style that is like more fluid, and I think it'll work good. I think it'll work well. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a good day today. Oh yeah. Alright. And I feel like there was something else that I was supposed to say, and now I sort of forget what it was. I'm trying new techniques. Good so far? Hello, Lillian. Welcome in. Good so far is good. Let me show you where we are at with things, shall we? Alright. Oh, I forgot one last little thing. One last little thing so you would be able to actually see what we're doing today, because that would help. Seeing is a good thing. Alright. There we go. Boom. There we go. Here is the piece so far. I think we were able to change the color scheme so it's all like nice and bright and cheery. And we're gonna be like cleaning up the line art a bit. I don't like full like perfection line art. I think it makes the piece look too stiff. So I'm gonna try fluid line art, like soft line art. And I think it's gonna work really well. What? Star was possessed by Columbo for a moment there. What? But yeah, I'm feeling good about this so far. I think it's going in a good direction. I added a lot more foliage to things. I added more like different areas where there's eventually going to be flowers, little hanging garlands and things, a lot more nature. Since it is supposed to be like a garden-y cafe, there is a flat sidewalk. Just because it probably is like somewhere a little off to the city. It's not like full grassy green in the front. That would be really hard to maintain. So it does have, words. It does have, what do they call it? Flagstone. It'll have, flagstone in the front, and then sort of like easy to walk, maybe like a brick or a cobblestone, I'm not really sure yet. And it'll look really nice, I think. Don't forget to add a reference to a certain X Hollow talent. I started changing the cake over here. So we are going to also do that. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, this is kind of where we're at right now. Let me, oh, and I fixed the hand. I found a reference for the hand. The hand looks so much better now. Let's see. So our talent here, we're doing the same thing that we kind of did on this piece, where we're trying to sort of theme all of the desserts and things. Let's see. So for this, it's gonna be an angel food cake, which is actually kind of hard to insinuate. It's kind of hard to show off that this is like an angel food cake, more or less. Let me see. Let me go to this one. Yeah, that'll work enough, I think. And then instead of a strawberry, it'll be like I need something harder. Ah, that works. Instead of a strawberry, it'll be like this, star symbol here. Maybe it's like a cookie or some sort. Let's see if I can at least make it a little bit more. Do something like that, and then... I guess it is supposed to be, see-through. If that works for a cookie, anyway. We have to have some other color to make this separate, and the thing is, angel food cake is, like, really not colorful. What could we do for that, too? We could probably, instead of making this lemonade, we can make it, like, some sort of blue drink, because we're basing this, on the VTuber, Amane, Kanata. So, she is an angel VTuber, and she is much more, like, blue, gold, white type of color scheme. Proof that angels have bland cuisine. Blue drink, bluier beer. Oh my gosh! Let me see. I guess what we could try, maybe we could, have, like, the straw could have a little bow. She has a little bow here, too. That could be cute, maybe. Let's see if that would work. Can have, like... Right now I'm not using anything that has, like, enough workability for color. Here, okay, there we go. That's a little easier to work with. We could do something like that, maybe? With a straw? Well, okay, the thing is, like, I felt like if it's a cake and I'm working with an angel, then an angel food cake would make a lot more sense. But if it's too bland looking, then we can just make it like a frosted cake. We can always make it a frosted cake and then just, like, have, you know, little designs here, I guess. That could always work, too. I guess she usually only had 2. Let's see here. I will not be able to make a checkerboard in frosting. I wonder, oh, wait, what if I did like a little wing here? And then had like a little bit of a... I always figure that whenever you need to add an accent to these things, you can always just excuse a cookie as like, yeah, it's a wing-shaped cookie and a star-shaped cookie, and you can always just make them into cookies. And as long as you just add like a little bit of a border around it, then it's like, yeah, this is totally a cookie. Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be a cookie? Anything can be a cookie. And you just have like a little bit of extra here. It's all good. They're all it's a cookie. So let's see. Maybe this is more like a. I guess this would be white for frosting, or not frosting for the fill. Probably like a vanilla filling. And then we'll make that a little bit lighter. And then I guess, yeah, we could have a little bit of batter there, which would be good to show off like the gold part, the gold trim that she has in her outfit. This we can make a little bit darker towards the bottom, a little bit lighter here. This bow will sort of just be around the straw. I'll have to make the straw a little bit larger just so it shows up, so it doesn't get lost. And then this will sort of be, you know, a little harder to see, but not entirely. And oh, she also has the trim on the bottom here. Okay, fair enough. I think that works. Is that like a lot nicer than this? Let me make it a little bit brighter. These aren't the full colors. These are just like throwing in random quick color. But let's make it a little bit brighter. Just so we can kind of see it more. There we go. Oh, it's glowing. There we go. That works. And then we could take that same brown here for the straw, because she kind of has like a little bit of black detail. Something like that. Is that a good solve? Opposite of angel cake is devil's food cake. Type of chocolate cake compared to angel cake vanilla flavor. There you go. What do we think? Is that a good solve, C-Hero? Does it spark joy? Does it feel like her? I'm trying to think if there's any close enough, but yes. Well, what else would you want me to add? I mean, I can keep tweaking it. You just gotta tell me. Trying to think of what else if we... I mean, I can add like a little frill. If she does have a lot of frills, I can add like a little frill here. Like, as if it was a napkin or something. Just like a little bit of an extra... little extra decoration here, doesn't hurt. As if it was a rolled up napkin on the edge. I still find it sad that when you think about, like, character cafe type of environment, the majority of the time, it's just, like, a standee or something of the character, instead of, you know, an actual themed item. It's like, no, if we're gonna do this, I wanna theme things. I wanna make things all themed and fun. I guess it would be a little too much work, but still. Alright, I'm gonna try to do it a little bit off-center so we're not creating a tangent there. Alright. I think that's good. And then I'll actually, like, you know, refine the colors and everything and make sure it's her actual correct color scheme instead of just throwing in close enough blue and whatnot. But yeah, I think that'll be good. A lot more interesting here now. Yeah, that'll work. That'll show. So now we have, Kanata, now we have Doki Bird, we have... I can't remember everybody. Aqua. Alright. Now, we can go back here. This is what I was trying to do before. I really reduce... Oh, not that one. Not that one. Where am I trying to go? Where's Minto? There we go. I reduced the opacity here by a lot, and then I have been working on half line art, which is like, it's line art, but I'm not going crazy, and it's actually really nice. Let's see here. Strange that Mint is a ghost but has ears of an elf. I guess it's just to show that she's, like, otherworldly in some format. The other thing I was thinking is like, oh, huh, does the... Well, I guess did she have it in the previous design? No, see, her old design has regular ears, so my theory is that the elf ears are a very, very, very slight nod to, you know. Alright, make that. The other thing I'm learning is that, oh my gosh, believe it or not, if you zoom in, it actually makes your life easier. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk it? That if you zoom in, your life actually gets easier. Pointed ears are used for otherworldly shorthand a lot, yeah. Yeah, true. I think with Mint, it's a little more than that. I think it's a little bit of like a, you know, if you know, you know. I could be wrong. That's just how I think it comes off. Because her old version did not have those ears. So I think it's very much like a, you know. Slightly late, but hi, what do you mean? Oh my gosh, Vesta! Vesta, you know that's not it! You know that's not it! Messing with me. You had the same reaction to that revelation, like, AK, when you found out you could zoom in. Okay, no, it's a little different. The problem with the line art zooming in is that okay, a lot of people will tell you to not zoom in when you are doing artwork because then you get too lost in the details and you're not seeing the larger picture. But they forgot to explain the nuance that you can zoom in when you're doing lines, and then when you zoom out it'll look nice, and then it's just a loss of nuance, and then it just sort of gets boiled down into don't zoom in when doing artwork. And then, so I've just been like, okay, I won't zoom in, and then lo and behold, the art actually doesn't look good if you did zoom in. You know what I mean? So like, I'll show you real quick. If I try to like do line art at this level, and if I try to do that exact same part, right? Like, I'll actually try. If I was trying to do, like, this type of heart, and I'm thinking, like, oh, okay, you know, this looks okay, and then I try to do, like, the line around here and everything, and then I can tell it's a little off, so, you know, I'll do a little bit of... It's like, okay, so that looks decent, right? And then you zoom in, and you're just like, the heck? What is this? So it's like... You can zoom in and out when doing line art, and it'll actually make your life easier. It sounds like the dumbest gatekeeping. Kinda, I don't know what it is. There's so much gatekeeping in art that it's ridiculous. But that's just kind of one that I stuck with, and then I was like, okay, I'm not zooming in, so I'll stay loose. And like there are points where it does make sense to do it. It's to prevent you from like getting too lost in it too early. But then when you're doing line art, just zoom in, it'll make your life easier. So now it's like I can do line art without hating myself, without hating life, without being so irritated about the result of everything. I'm learning a lot of different techniques and tricks, and it's great. And you can just do a quick liquefy, make it a little neater. And it actually makes things go faster, miraculously. You feel an urge to attach pointed ears to random passerby. I don't think they would appreciate that. Alright, let's see here. Oh, shoot. That's all on one layer. Alright, let's do it like this, and let's shift this around a little so that it's, yeah, a little bit angled. I think that's good. And then what I can also do is I can sort of like very roughly get the lines in. And then I can also do a little bit of cleanup later. I don't have to make it like... See, this is me trying to teach myself how to be less perfectionist. And by doing it this way, it actually makes the work look a lot nicer because it's not so stiff. It's not like... It's not like, what's the word? It's not so constrained. It actually has like a lot more freedom and movement feeling. Let's see. Trying to see if I did that a little too much. No, I think it's actually... Yeah, lessen it just a tad. There we go. So this is me, like, attempting to learn. Her bow is so large. Something like that. Let's see. And then this piece, she has 4 points on the bow. How do you make the... Okay, when it has to be even at an angle, that is a little tricky, for sure. Let's just make the rounded edges here. And then let's break it down. So we can break that in half and half. And it's gonna be about here. All right. That's good. It's gonna be around here. Yeah, there we go. The bow still feels a little bit off. Let's try to even that out a little more. It's gonna be about here. And it goes a little higher. But it's also at an angle, so this is where we start running into a little bit of trouble, but it's okay. Because as long as I can just clean up the edges, and then I'll go over and I'll be a little neater about it. But doing this, like, second line art is actually speeding things up quite considerably. And then Thursday, we'll experiment going really loose and silly, and then we'll just see how that works. And we're just, you know what? I'm basically going on like a little mini training arc here. I'm going on a little like imperfectionist training arc. Not easy. And can't always do it, especially when it comes to commissions. Commissions have to look good. It can't like super rush commission. But Thursday, I want to try playing around with like really loose emote ideas. Not gonna do myself or Prism because then I'll feel the need to be super perfectionist about it, so Arknight's emote ideas. If there's any, like, favorite Arknight emotes that you like using, feel free to post them in, like, general chat or Starlight chat or wherever you'd like, really. Either of those two. And I'm gonna sort of use them as reference and study material. And we'll see if we can do something fun. And I can't guarantee that any are going to be, like, finished, posted, whatever. But I want to use it as a practice. I think it would be a good practice. I have an idea. We'll share it here. An emote related to mountain, because you always put mountain in the wrong spot. Oh, jeez. How would that even... What would that even look like? Just being angry, or, like... being angry, trapped in ice, stuck behind a gate? What would that even be? Oh, man. Alright. I think that looks good. A community meme so strong even C+ knows it despite not playing AK. Yeah. Just very angry mountain. Alright, let's make this one a little higher. Alright, that's good. Let's move on from there. Might have to place that differently later, but for now I think it's okay. This is very messy. I clearly did not clean this up. Let's do another layer just in case. And then we can probably combine it once it looks right. Did we establish, like, where her neck is in this sketch, or did we just make it really obscure? I guess we made it very obscure. Alright. About there will work. And then... Oh, this goes directly... Okay, this... The bow is directly at center. And connects to the collar, too. And then, how far is this going to go out? Like, maybe here? It's a little hard to judge, because a lot of it is, like, covered up differently. I guess it's like... Okay, I think it's covered here. I'm trying to look at the reference and trying to make a guess based on the reference. Also, I don't know how I missed this the first time, but she has an entire panty section to her reference. I don't know why. Why is that the case, Mint? Why do you need that? Yeah, you heard what I said. I'm not putting it on stream, but look at her reference if you don't believe me. There's no reason to clip it. Just look it up yourself. It's not worth clipping because it's not a shocking thing that I said. It's just straight up open public knowledge. Or maybe Matara asked. Oh my gosh. It's more so the fact that it's like, You openly added that to your reference sheet. Okay. Alright, I'm having trouble figuring out this collar because it's like... It's not quite fitting correctly on her shoulder. Or maybe her shoulder needs to be a little bit lower. If her shoulder is like a tad lower. And then she also has the frills of the maid outfit. Okay, let's try this. Let's try that. That should work. Does that sit a little more naturally? I guess it does. Okay, yeah, we don't compare Salome to anything. Like, that's not even on the same stratosphere as anyone else. Why are none of these VTubers anywhere close to normal? Neck area looks good. Anything lower would probably look weird. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to balance it. Especially like with her shoulder. And then on the other side too. This is also a matter of like, okay, how are we gonna get the other angle here? If the bow is 3D, we probably would not see the other side here. So we'll probably have to... Okay, how do we make that around the same height, though? About there? And then, yeah, that works because this shoulder is already lifted. So that would make sense. So we'll just make this a little bit higher because this shoulder is up a little more for serving. So you can tell I'm doing this line art in a way that I don't have to really spend too much time doing any fixes after. Like, just a few to clean it up, but it is being done in a way where it's not going to be too crazy. And then when you zoom out, it looks fine, you know? It looks good zoomed out. And it's still not fully zoomed out, right? Like, fully zoomed out, it's all good. And then we'll clean up a little bit of that, but when you zoom out, it's like, it looks clean. I'm pretty sure being insane is a prerequisite to VTubing. But I don't... I'll let you guys be the judge of that one. I guess it would be a little further over. Yeah, we'll take it. I guess that works. Make that a little bit shorter. Connect that a little nicer. Yeah, it is going outwards, so that matches it better. So see a red grave. Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. And hello, ZM. I've already judged you and you should be very ashamed. Star thought about it, saying it for half a second and decided, yeah, not gonna help that case. I know I'm getting ahead with the news with certain other Hollow talent opening their own company. I thought up an idea for future art, just saying. I will keep that in mind. It's really crazy what VTubers can do now. Like, we have a VTuber now who is basically, like, not graduated in the VTuber sense, but, like, graduated in the school sense, in the... got too big for the biggest agency. You guys have heard about how, like, Suisei is in Fortnite now, right? She's so big that she essentially graduated Hololive, but, like, not a VTuber graduation. Like, she still works with the company and she still does group activities, but her streams are no longer under Hololive. She still has, like, group activities with the other Hololive girls, but she basically got too big for Hololive. She's just that successful that she's now under her own named agency. She's just that crazy successful now. So it's still Suisei, but she's now just she's bigger than Hololive now. And the thing is, she can do that because from the very beginning, she was the only Hololive VTuber to own their design. She's the only Hololive VTuber to ever own their design. And she stands out so much for it. And it's very inspiring that she was somehow able to actually get that to work. Because that's unheard of. Probably will never happen again, because it was also in Hololive's earlier days. But yeah, she has full ownership for her design, too. She broke the system so thoroughly, she became the system. Basically, yeah. She's so inspiring. Also, I didn't realize that we had the same fan name because she actually changed hers from something else and then changed it to... Her fan name in Japanese is Stargazers, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. If you could join Hololive and keep your design ownership, would you? I've thought about that a lot, because if I was to ever join an agency, the only way it would ever work is if I could stay myself. I've already decided that, like, I would not accept any agency that said that I could not stay myself. But if somehow miraculously they would let you, I don't know. Honestly, I would probably do the thing that, this, mentor of mine I've talked about before, he's mentioned. He's like, if you ever have the opportunity, like, get in, stay there for a year, get the, you know, get the eyes that you would not have normally had, and then get out, And then you have, like, so much more recognition. And this was before Doki Bird did her whole stunt. I don't know. I think I would stay long enough just to not go crazy, because I've heard that there is major health issues. Major health issues that could become a part of that. I mean, that's why Sana, wink wink, that's why Sana had to leave, is there were lots of health issues involved with it. I started as a Hoshiomi, I'm still a Stargazer. Oh, that means a lot, child. That's funny. Oh, I'm so happy for her, especially after the whole bumpy road she had. Yeah, she really is, like, such a rags to riches success story. It's really inspiring. It's not fine, we have to go to war and reclaim the Stargazer fan name. So it's funny, right? There's, to my knowledge, I don't want to know of any others, but to my knowledge, there are 3... No, I take it back, there's 4 now. Ugh! It's fine! Common noun, you always have to recognize that common nouns are gonna be used more often. It's just, frustration of the situation. I believe including us, there are 4 total Stargazer, fan group VTubers. There is a musician that is really well known and works with Iron Mouse. There is Suisei. There's us. And there's a guy in Niji Sanji. And out of those numbers, we are technically second, first EN, and Suisei changed her fan name because her original fan name sounded too close to another Hololive member's, so she ended up changing hers to Hoshiomi, but it was something, I think it was like Sue Satellites or something, and it sounded too close to someone else's, so she changed it. But we are the first EN, the Niji Sanji guy came later, and the musician came later. So we are still the original in EN. It's awful, there's plenty of those shady VTuber agencies. Like, it's a competition who's worse. We've had VShojo, and there was the company that Doc slandered and sued their talent. Oh, yeah. Which one was that? I can't even keep track of the names anymore, to be honest. Bunny Stargazers will outlive all the other Stargazers, one way or another. Look at it this way, Starlight. We can use sympathetic magic to ritualistically possess all other fan bases that share our name. Funny supremacy, peace through power, fire and blood. Oh my gosh, Lillian. We probably have the most aggressive group, to say the least. I can say for sure that we are the only group that has, like, a really solid mascot. Suisei has straight up come out and said that she doesn't ever want a mascot. She doesn't ever want her community to have a mascot. I think the musician person doesn't have any mascots, and the Niji guy technically does, but it's a blob. It's a literal blob. I think we win there. I think we are good. Alright, I'm gonna dip this a little further, because it's just slightly too different right now. It's so hard to, like, try to figure out the anatomy here. Okay, that's probably better. Aggressive? I'd say this community has the most tactical advantage. We're the only group that actively fights viewers watching on the wrong platform. We're trained? Trained in combat? All that training fighting off raids will have to come in handy someday. I don't really want to fight the other ones. I mean, I don't really want to fight Iron Mouse. Suisei doesn't have mascots, so that's not really a fair fight at all. I'll fight the Niji guy. Oh. I have to be careful so that the Niji stands don't, like, try to kill me. They're scary. They can be very scary. Alright. Spending a little too much time on this section, so let's move onward. I think we got it, at least. Might have to make her neck a little bit thinner, but... kinda hard to tell what works. And her hair will be in the way, so that's fine. Make that a little bit, like, about here. And more or less, that's pretty accurate, so we'll do that. We're also the only group represented in multiple war crime simulator games. From Pearl and Stellaris. Speaking of shading VTuber agencies, what do you think of the situation about those art studios? I've seen the iBanner arts a lot before, like a month or two ago. Oh, yeah, those I've been talking about those for months, and finally people are starting to learn about them. It only took, like, no, I've been talking about them for years. It only took a few extra years for other people to catch on. I've been talking about for years how these are bad agencies that are bad for the consumer, bad for the artist, bad for everybody. So if people don't really know what I'm talking about right now, just to give you a little bit of quick education, there are, you know how you have, like, the art bots on Twitter? And even if you have no interest in art, they will, like, try to sell you art because they were trained off of the fact that VTubers needed art, and they just go with whatever the algorithm says is a thing they can sell. I'll fight all of Niji Sanji for free. Fair, honestly. Very fair. But yeah, you know how, like, you sometimes either through Twitter or through Discord, you get a DM saying, hey, do you want to buy artwork? Well, and then it's like, oh, these are all bots, they use AI, they use stolen art, whatever. So what it actually is, because we're learning more about these things, is that it is, like, farms of bots that are actually real people. It actually will be a real person who does make the artwork. The problem is, without getting too intense with this, They are not in the greatest situation. They are not in the greatest living situation. May or may not be of their own choice. And they are basically being paid like 100th of the price of the commission. So it is essentially, you know, for lack of a better word, it is exploitation to the biggest degree. So let's say like, you commission an art piece for like $10. The person making that may get like 10 cents. So it's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. And you should never support these companies, and you should never support like these, oh, we can do any type of art, our logo, VTuber model, concept art, whatever. It's big farms of groups of people very, very intensely taking advantage of artists. I've also heard they lie about the exploitation situation to make people feel more sympathetic and to commission them. No, that's the thing. The exploitation situation, is you shouldn't commission them. It's only hurting them to commission them. Remember Folding Ideas did a video about a similar topic, but it was about ghostwriters. I think I've seen that. It's very similar, yeah. Basically, you shouldn't support them. You shouldn't commission them because you shouldn't support the business model. If I ever want something like this, who should I ask? What do you mean? I'm trying to go downward here. Alright, I guess it's a little bit better. I'm saying I've heard they don't actually get farmed, they're just scammers that spread the stories about being exploited to guilt people into commissioning them. Not saying it's 100% true, but that's what I've heard also happens. It's probably all honestly like a big mix of things. I have seen that, okay, how do I say this, in a safe way? I have seen news articles of people who have described the experience, and those people, basically escaped the situation, shall we say. They have no reason to tell a false story to get commissions because they left that entire industry, and risked a lot of very dangerous situations. So, I'm just saying, there are indeed, situations of people who have basically, like, left that life, through scary means, and would have no reason to lie about it because they just want to live a safe and normal life. Every DM I get anymore is them wanting me to do an art commission. Yeah. Okay. So to answer Viviana, if you want to commission a real artist, don't go for any studio, just to be on the safe side, unless it's a very reputable studio. If you go with an individual, like, you know, due diligence on reviews, if the artist claims that they can do everything, that is a big red flag. It's a big, big red flag if they say that they can do VTuber illustration, and rigging, and 3D, and 2D, and game logos, The game logos, by the way, are from a logo generator site. We've found the logo generator site that is used. Very easy to find on Google. So don't ever get like game logos because those are definitely fake. I think Slime Zero is trying to get you to promote yours. Oh. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't. I'm working right now, at least. My thing right now is I'm always scared to I'm nervous to promote myself when I'm in the middle of working on getting other pieces done. So I'm like, there would be a large wait list. And I always have the feeling of like, I can't currently promote myself because I'm busy to like try to get the work done here so that I can get through to making more work for people. It's a very hard balance. Read what I said in a commercial ad-ish way. Are you interested in commissioning someone who isn't exploited, except as a bite chew toy for Vesa? Then come on down to Starlight Akari's VGen. It's the ethical choice. I'm channeling my inner great mouth mob here. Brought to you by Blue Ear Beer. I'll buy your entire stock. Oh my gosh. Exploited as a chew toy for Vesa. Oh my god. Yeah. Not inaccurate. Alright, where is the... Okay. This is... Alright, I'm gonna start, like, combining these line art pieces as we go. So then I won't, like, be ruining each section. You were lucky to find nice artists for your Discord emojis, not falling into the hands of these art studios. It's funny because I actually really want to learn how to do emotes again. I was just saying that earlier. On Thursday, I want to try practicing like really rough designed emotes. Rough designed in terms of like I'm not going too crazy, trying to make everything like super perfect. But also rough in the sense that I really want to have fun with it. I really want to know which artist did the Flametail emotes, because I really like those. I was also saying earlier that if you are in the Discord, if you are not in the Discord, definitely consider joining our Discord. But, you know, throw in your favorite AK emotes in, like, general chat or Starlight chat, because I want to save some of those as reference to study. I really like the Flametail one. That style really speaks to me. Especially because it's so different than what we were saying, like how emotes are so samey. I really like that Flametail one. It's really inspiring. It's painterly but rough, and you can tell that they didn't spend like a million years trying to perfect it, and I really like it, and I want to learn from it. I guess if your commission list is busy right now, we can just give you money for funsies. That's not... Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Seaquest Hero just supported the Prismatic Fox for 3. Shut up and take my money.
not have timed that better. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Oh my gosh. We need the Amiya Freakout animated one, but it's you. I'm crying. Oh. Alright, how do you make this part even? How do you make this even? I can't tell which is like too much 3D and too much overlap. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Flametail happy or Flametail excited? Isn't it the same? They kind of look like they're the same, aren't they? I saved a lot of the flame. I saved one of the ones that someone reacted to with, and then I tried to do like reverse search, and I found a few more of them. But then I still couldn't find the original artist of them. I want to see if they've done any other stuff, because the painterly emotes are so rare. They're really, really rare. I never see painterly emotes. I love painterly emotes. I want to get better at painterly emotes. And I never see anyone do them. Post both of them in Starlight Chat. Thank you! I love the painterly emotes. I've only done like... I love how rough and loose they are, and then from far away, you get the whole story from them easily. They're really good. Let's see here. Oh. Until I can't see the details. Your reference sheet is so blurry, Mint. Yeah, I've not been able to source the artist for that. I've only, if you try to like reverse image search, I'm only able to find like the people who use it in reactions on like Korean forums. I couldn't find the original. But I want to do more emotes, and it's really funny because, some of you guys know in Creative Cafe, I was venting about, like, this one guy who had this whole, like, don't make your prices public, make people ask you, and then change as you see fit. And I'm like, oh my god. So he had another one. I'm like fascinated by this guy. I like to see what he says. I like to see what he is sharing and, like, what direction he's trying to make people go in. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of like a fascination thing, right? So he had this one, and he was saying, like, don't ever offer things that are cheaper. Always make everything, like, really expensive and finished. And I'm like, if every single piece I ever did was as detailed as this, I would go insane. We can't all be the Degenbrocker artist, right? We can't do constant finished works all the time, right? If I was always doing this stuff, I would lose it. I need to have a balance of, like, you know, quick and easy and then more intense and detailed. And he's like, no, you should have everything be intense and detailed. You should always charge, like, top dollar for everything intense and detailed. And I'm like, his argument was that you should never sell sketches. And I'm like, but maybe I want to relax. Maybe I want, you know, low cortisol drawing. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do emotes. I miss getting emotes. But it's like, yeah, I want to have something that's like low energy and fun and relaxing. And the other thing, this is something that I was sort of like thinking about in general. I really need to do, maybe not, you know, not on commission, but just in general, right? I need to do more sketches. I really do. I really, really need to do more sketches, especially humanoid. So when this piece is done, when I have a little bit more of a, when I can have a little bit more focus that is not on a really large piece, I think what I want to try doing, Vessa, this is not crow thoughts, I swear. This is actually something I need to do, right? I need to try to force myself to do, like, you know, the sketch a day that a few members in our Discord have been doing. I really need to join that bandwagon too, because I want to improve, and I think the best way to do that would be, like, operator a day. Make it into a quick short, try to get it done, not really editing, just, you know, quick speed paint, throw it up, not even being careful about songs or whatever. Just get her done, and get a lot of practice in. Alright, how do you do the lace here? This reference sheet is so blurry! Ah, alright. What if the client wants to buy a sketch, though? His advice is to tell them to just go somewhere else? Yeah, actually, yeah, it is. His advice is just to, like, not ever have cheaper clients. So, I asked him, and he hasn't replied. But I asked him, I was like, hey, what if your art style is really simple? Or what if you want to do something like emotes, where it kind of has, like, a little bit of a set price these days? And my emotes are definitely on the higher end because I do the more painterly style, and I don't use bases. But I'm like, what do you do if you have something where it's, like, kind of people know what the value of it should be? And, you also are making something that's not a giant multi-character painting. Like, how do you handle that? Also, please don't answer me with just don't do emotes. So I'm curious if he says anything. I'm curious if he replies to that. Because I feel like there should be good solutions to this, and just have to find them. Alright, I think the best way to do this is to be, like, really loose with it and not be making... I'm trying to get a little bit of that fold in the lace here, and I think the best way to do it is to, like, not be super strict on the line art so that it can take on a little bit more of an abstract look. I think that will actually work better here. And then you can just sort of, like, add a little bit of frill and fold as we go. And then when I do a little bit of paint over, then it won't look structured, but we're also not doing tech specs for Fashion Week. How did bro get a following doing nothing but giving terrible advice? A lot of people believe it to be amazing advice, that's how. I've watched him grow from nothing. His whole thing has just been, like, giving art advice that he believes everyone should follow. And it's, weirdly fascinating, not in, like, an I'm gonna follow it way, but in, like, a what the heck are you doing now kind of way. It's interesting. I kind of been, like, stalking him throughout the years. That sounds so strange. But I'm just like, I'm fascinated by this guy, right? He just kind of came out of nowhere, and his whole shtick is, I have no following, but you should listen to me because I can relate to other people like you with no following. his whole thing is basically like, if you're an unsuccessful artist, you can actually make money by advertising on Reddit threads. And I'm in the same boat, and I have no social media following, so I'm gonna show you how I do it. I get the feeling most of his viewers are the kind of artists on Twitter that get Google Docs about them for not finishing things in a year despite charging 4 figures. He has a mentorship too, a paid one. Sounds like one of the grifter types, though I don't know him, so I'll reserve my judgment. I don't know if he's a grifter type. The only thing that I will say is that, he looks a lot like, Charney. Like, I'm not even joking. And that's all I'll say on that. Speaking about advice, have you seen the clip of Asmongold giving an advice about cheating to get ahead? I know you're talking about artists and his advice. What do you think? I don't think I've seen that clip, so I don't know. Do you mean, like, people on... If it's Asmongold, I'm guessing it's gonna be something about how, like, you have to use, Twitch botting to get ahead or something like that? Is that the kind of thing you're referring to? Because I think the CEO of Twitch straight up told people that they need to viewbot now. Which is very sad. Oh, he's that guy? What do you mean, oh, he's that guy? Did I make these uneven? Oh, that's one of the hardest things about doing these laces, is accidentally making them too uneven when you're going around here. Cheating to get ahead? I don't remember what he said. View game perspective about the reality of the world. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes, Johnny, exactly. Yes, exactly. Same dude. I have beef with the guy. He doesn't know it, though. This sounds so mean. He's shown off, some older stuff of mine before without permission, so I've always had, like, a little bit of, like, oh, really? So now I just sort of, like, observe to see what he says for amusement. And the thing is, I'm still keeping an open mind. I really am. I know it seems like I'm just dogpiling on the guy, but I genuinely am keeping an open mind, because I don't normally see people who make entire artist hot take videos like this and then share it as, like, official advice for everybody to follow. So part of me likes to challenge him, part of me likes to see what he's saying, part of me wonders if maybe there's parts of it where it actually is applicable to me. You know, I'm genuinely trying to keep an open mind with this stuff, and I'm always wondering if he will say some advice that would be useful for what I do. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm genuinely watching these with, like, hey, maybe I'll learn something. Really? Honestly, maybe I'll learn something, because I'm not perfect. I'm not the best commission artist in the world, obviously. So I'm always curious. Like, hey, this guy makes his entire channel about, how to be the world's best commission artist. So I'm always curious. It's okay, Starlight, I also have beef with many influencers that don't know I exist. The thing is, he doesn't know I exist, but he still used my stuff. And I'm just a little angry about it. You won't, it's very vague, because, like, he uses a lot of people's stuff. But he used my stuff, and I'm like, buddy. My beef is with Starlight Akari. Who did? This one YouTuber. This one YouTuber who tries to tout themselves as, like, the best commission artist. So I'm just like, alright. I'm always curious with what you have to say, man. I'm always curious. Genuinely always curious. Always willing to learn something. I think being open-minded to the possibility of maybe being wrong, maybe learning something, I think that's a very healthy thing to do. You know, if you're gonna use me as an example of something that you shouldn't do, I would prefer to have been asked first, but okay. It's essentially what he does, is like, he'll grab examples of other artists, and he'll be like, here's an artist doing something you shouldn't do, and then he'll just like, he's nice enough to not post the name, thankfully. But I'm like, hey, I know my own artwork. And the thing is, like, he was using something that I had gotten rid of about a decade ago. And I'm like, buddy, this thing that you're telling people that you shouldn't do, where you're using me, I haven't done that in literally years. And the funny thing is, the thing that he thought was, like, badly done, that I've since fixed a decade ago, he now, I now provide that information to other people. I know I'm being vague, because I don't want it to be, like, fully discovered, but it's just, like, art practices, where he's like, don't do this thing, and I'm like, I literally teach people now to not do that thing. Hmm? You want to make examples for what not to do, make the mistake yourself on video/stream. Exactly! That's what I always do. Whenever I'm trying to demonstrate something, like, guys, that's why we ended up, drawing the bus, right? I could have just found a picture of what Chicken Scratch looked like, but no, I'm just gonna demonstrate on stream. I'm just gonna do Chicken Scratch. Yeah, always make yourself the example. Always, always, always make yourself the example. Don't grab a random stranger on the internet, please. Like, come on, have some decency, man. And then the irony is that he said that I probably don't have a good... I fought with him on something else, and this is public in the Creative Cafe channel from a few days ago. And I asked him if he could prove something relating to people saying, like, oh, you shouldn't use commission sheets. And he's like, oh, all my clients say that they like that I don't have commission sheets. And I said, oh, do you have any testimonials? Do you have any quotes about that? And he's like, whoa, buddy, that would be like an invasion of privacy and you can't ask for that, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, maybe you don't understand the moral implications of that. And I'm like, did you just insinuate that I don't have morals? So yeah, it's interesting. He was being such a disingenuous idiot with the comment. It's incredibly obvious what you meant. Yeah, I know, right? And the thing is, once I didn't continue this in Creative Cafe, but afterward, I was like, wow, buddy, like, real low blow there to be insinuating that I don't have morals and I'm, like, trying to take advantage of people or ask for things that you shouldn't. And then he completely 180'd and is like, oh, I'm just trying to help people like you. I'm just, you know, I really want the best for you. I want you to grow and prosper. And I'm like, you want me to grow and prosper, and yet you said that I had no morals. All right, buddy. TLDR, basically, between that and the thing in, where was it? The Images and Media channel, and then thinking about, like, you know, making things that are more detailed and more things that are simpler, and kind of going against his whole, like, you shouldn't do, sketches. I'm like, you know what? Now we're sort of in this mindset of like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get better at sketches. I'm gonna get better at drawing people really fast. And I'm gonna see if I can go back to doing some simple things too, when I need to. I'm gonna learn how to do this. So I'm taking it more as like a challenge. I find it amusing. I'm like, the whole thing is just very amusing, I think is the best way that I can say it. So I'm not trying to be like super venti on stream right now. I'm just trying to be like, hey, these are the thoughts I've had. Here's where they come from. TLDR, I want to draw operators at some point. I want to do like, I want to do more sketches that I don't feel like have to be clean and perfect of a subject that you guys all like, and use it as a way to improve. That's the main message here. The main message is I want to improve, use things that people are familiar with, and not and forcibly do one a day so that I can't make them finished and clean and proper. Really sketching for sketching's sake. Because you know what? I don't think most of us artists do it enough. I'm definitely calling myself out here. I know I don't do it enough. So I feel like it would be a really good way to do, like, a challenge, getting more practice in, all of that, all that goodness. Because, you know, I like doing the master studies, but the problem with the master studies is it started becoming less of a study and started turning into a one-to-one replica. And I don't know why I started doing that. I think I just wanted to challenge myself to see how close I could get to the original. But that kind of isn't the point of a master study. So this is gonna be more like gesture, croquis, once a day stuff. People probably don't know the word croquis. Croquis is like, in fashion, where you have a mannequin that you are drawing, that you draw on top of. That is a croquis. I don't know why it's called a croquis. It's French. At least the trolling grifter inspired you to do something positively, which I think is what a lot of people should do. Take the negative, turn it into positive. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it is a big, like, cathartic, vent. It is cathartic to just talk about it for a minute. I don't want to go on forever with it, but it is a little bit cathartic. Let the spite flow through you. You guys are nice though, thank you. Want to start drawing more what I want to draw and not feel like I have to do it and rush to get it done. So burnout happens. Eventually you hate art. True. You do not want to get burnout. Which, you know what? Again, like, this guy's saying you should only do, like, super detailed stuff all the time. It's like, buddy, that's how you burn out. I don't know, maybe there's people who just have, like, a infinite energy, like the Degenbracher artist. I don't know how they do it. How they are doing, like, such amazing work I would imagine that it's, like, a daily piece, but it's probably one of those things where once you've done it so many times, you do eventually develop, like, a, what do you call it? You develop a method, right? It probably becomes very, intuitive. You probably develop, like, you probably do it in your sleep at that point. Not to say that it isn't still really hard work, but you probably end up developing methodologies that you can kind of rely on. I would imagine that that is what they are doing, because all the pieces that they do are gorgeous, but they all kind of have a very similar look. So I think it's like you can develop a look that you can rely on, that you can get used to, that you can improve at, and then you sort of have this formula, that's the word. You kind of have this formula that you can rely on to help you. Lin Zhao definitely built different, yeah. But very, very inspiring still. Business representative of Zaretsa, Croaky Diamond Face mentioned. I mean, that is where their name comes from. That was such a fun event. Everyone had, like, creative art-based names. I like that event a lot. Alright, we need to add a little bit more curvature to the strap here. It's a little too straight. There we go. Alright, need to work a little bit faster, but I think we're still... We're kind of, like, methodically getting through, right? I'm still learning how to do this quicker, and I'm also doing it while chit-chatting, so that slows things down a tad. As usual, it's a stream. I do think we are I think we are getting through. Let's see. I probably have a piece here. I should probably try to rough it out and then go back and refine it instead of trying to refine it all in the same stroke, because that is a part that I think slows you down, that I am learning about. This is going to be a little more curved inward, outward. Yeah, that makes more sense. She is a little bit about here. Sorry for my question, Star, but what can I understand by master study, or what can I compare it with? Do you mean, are you asking, like, what it is? Like, in general? Are you just asking to know what a master study is? A master study is essentially like when you are studying a master and trying to do a version of their work to better understand their process. So, for instance, a lot of people in schools, in art schools, they will do master studies of art pieces from famous artists that they really admire. So you might see somebody who tries to basically, like, redraw a Mona Lisa, right? Everyone knows what the Mona Lisa looks like, and then by trying to redraw it, you can kind of figure out where you need to improve, what are your strengths or weaknesses in the piece. So I've done a lot of Arknight's master studies where I've taken moments in the CGs and tried to repaint them because the Arknight's artists are very talented, and I was trying to learn more about their techniques by replicating those pieces. The problem is you're not really supposed to do it completely one-to-one. You're supposed to, like, just get the rough idea of it and be able to do more. And I started getting to the point where I was, like, copying the exact brush strokes. That's not really useful. I mean, it can be, depending on your goals, but... Does that kind of make sense? Alright, I think her band is a little bit larger. Probably about here, yeah. A little bit lower, maybe. That is generally what it is like you're making a study of something. Let me see if I can get an example real quick. Like in general? Let's see here. Trying to see if I can find like a really quick side-by-side. Okay, here's one. So this is done by an artist on ArtStation. And as you can see here, the original Renaissance painting is here on the left. So this is the original, do we know which piece this is? Let's see, does it say? Oh, they didn't even credit the original Renaissance artist. Alright. Let's give it a quick Google Lens search. Rubens. It's a Rubens piece. Okay. So it's a sketch by Rubens. And then this is the student artist. And they are trying to get the lighting, the color, the composition. You can tell this is done with digital paint. And they are trying to do a study, a study of the master. That's why it's called a master study. Rubens is the master. The student is learning from the master. It is a study of the master, a master study. That's what it is. In short, you're finding your own way in art by redoing or remastering an art piece. You could... You're not really remastering it. Remastering would be like if you're trying to put your own take on it. This is like, they're trying to get it pretty exact without spending a million hours on extra detail. Because if it's a study, you don't need to make it one-to-one, and I was starting to make it one-to-one, and you shouldn't. But you are basically using it as an exercise. This is not a finished piece. You do not put this in a gallery. You do not sell this. You do not sell this as an original piece. You do not lie. You always credit the artist. You always, it is a study. It is a practice session. So that's essentially what it is. It's hyper-focusing on specific things about the original to practice/learn those specific pieces, basing off of a mastered piece. Yes, exactly. Thank you, ZM. Exactly. Alright. Oh. Now I have orange. We still have this piece of the lace. Let's see if we can do this here. Let's see here. Trying to... This is always such an awkward angle for the lace to be at. Trying to get around here, and then sort of like... Ah, I always hate this view. I hate 3/4 view of shoulder lace. I don't know why. It's always really difficult. Because it's going at such an awkward angle, you know? It's like it's flat, but it's not. Alright, let's try maybe like that. Does that even make sense, the way I did that? Yeah, I guess it does. Alright, we'll do something like that, and then this is gonna be... No, now it's folding in on itself. Why is this always the hardest angle? How did I end up doing this? What did I end up doing? Did I create a Mobius strip here? Here, here, here. No, that should be fine. Why does that not look right? Ah! I hate this angle. Alright. I'm gonna leave that part for later. I hate those. Let's just do the other side. It's a lot easier. Because you're trying to make it dynamic by making it twist in on itself, but it also causes a lot of frustration and pain to do it that way. Is the Mobius strip the infinity symbol? It's like an infinity symbol. Yeah, I would say so. It's like an infinity symbol that's continually folded. It's like, how do I... Gosh, how do I even draw that? How do you do that? Yeah. Yeah, it's like this. I think. Is that right? I think that's... Yeah, this is a Mobius strip. So if you were to follow it, then it would keep going around, and around, and around, and around. I'm pretty sure. I might have messed it up a little, but you get the idea. It isn't a Mobius strip? Did I draw it wrong? I probably drew it wrong. I don't know. I'm trying to go off of what I randomly remember. It's probably not perfect. It probably has a fold wrong somewhere. But it's fine. You got the idea. It's not easy to freehand as a drawing, so I probably did it incorrectly. All I was saying is that the lace was giving me trouble, and it was starting to be, like, weirdly overfolded. Because lace is really pretty, but it causes a lot of issues Which is why I don't even have it on my dress. The only thing I have is, like, I have a little lace trim, but it's, like, one on the bottom and it's scalloped, so that it's not so difficult. And even then, I sometimes think that it's overly complex. Lace is pretty, but it's hard to draw. And at that point, I'm just gonna have it rough, and then I'll just sort of paint over it. And it'll look fine. Make that a little tighter. And then there's a bow on top of that. Because of course there is. Wait, is this... Are these the same length? No, they are the same. Wait, what is this doing? Okay, it is in the center. And oh, you have so much detail. Something to that effect, I think. And then there's all these folds here that I'll have to figure out too. I think I'm just gonna sort of move around the piece with where I feel like I can make the most impact. So maybe I'll change to her head real quick. And see if I can make some better flow here. Make this a little taller too, because her eyes aren't like super large. They're wider, but they're not huge. Sort of make it like faded, make it softer. And I want to know how people get to the point where they're, like, inventing the hairstyle that is, like, not 100% direct to the character, but still looks really good. That's what I want to figure out someday, too. Like, being able to go off-model. I'm a very on-model artist right now. Just because I'm still trying to make sure that every element is added in. But I really admire the artists who know how to successfully go off-model. Meaning, like, you're not entirely getting every single hair strand, you're adding your own style to it, it's your own twists. You might have a more, like, detailed style or painterly style. I really want to figure out how people do that. I think those are so cool. And then still, you can still recognize who it is. I'm trying to do it a little bit here, but I don't want to push it too much. Because I know it's, like, not my forte. But I really think that some of the best fan art is the type that does go off model. You know? I think it's very common to see it in Arknights. In Arknights fan art. It's like they know how to like keep the general look of the character without changing any of the really iconic pieces. And it's not boring because it doesn't just look like the same PNG of the character. Add a little bit here. Oh, I should probably do that on a separate layer, because that's going to have some overlapping, and I do not want to mess that up. Probably going to do it around here, I think. For example, drawing them in less tactical, more I'm going out with my friends to the movies, or drawing them in gala attires like ambient synesthesia, etc. That is definitely still true. That is definitely like, you know, having them in a different outfit that is more unusual. I'm referring less to the outfit and more just in the drawing style too, right? Like, even just in the way that you draw their hair, not looking like completely direct to the reference. I think that's really cool. Like, after doing the Neural Chibi, right? I was looking at fan art of Neural, and I'm like, they are not bothering with the exact same hair strokes that I did. And it looks better. I think it's a skill that you have to kind of develop as you get more comfortable. But I think it's a really cool one. You just have to have a big comfort in drawing people, which, again, is why I want to do the operator a day thing. Makes sense. If I want to see OG AK designs, I'll go for the actual designs on the wiki. I'd rather see your own takes. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to pull off, just because recognizability is still a huge thing. So you want to balance recognizability with character design. And I can tell right now that I'm basing this really, really close to Mint's original reference sheet, but because there's so many different characters in this scene, it's just easier to sort of make sure that it's still flowing the right way. There's so many other elements. It's also gonna be over. Okay. It's probably a matter of just practicing different hairstyles too. I don't know why I keep using hairstyle as the example, but I feel like that's kind of the main one. Is that when you can make their hairstyle still look like them without copying every existing strand. Alright, have good dinner, Daho. Yeah, after this piece is done, though, I think that's when I'm gonna open the floor to... if you guys want to throw out, operator suggestions in the near future. And I'll just, you know, pick one a day to do. And then also trying to not make it look just like the existing, PNG. Found the guy behind the Flametail art? Did you really? That's amazing. Thank you, Stockler! I seriously love that painterly style. It's on Starlight Chat. Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! I will check it out. I will check it out, off stream. Thank you. Appreciate that greatly. It's like when I draw you, if I try to copy your legit look, one-to-one, I would die mentally. Oh. I think the main thing when you're trying to do an off-model design is like, as long as you're getting like, what do they call it in VTubing? As long as you're getting the charm points, right? As long as you're getting the charm points, the visual parts that make someone look the way they are. So for Minto, I think her charm point, definitely the ahoge. It's very large and prominent. Her piece here, she has little pigtails on each end, so that's very prominent. She has... what would you call this? It's not hime cut exactly, it's just, I guess it's just regular bangs. The two pieces in front here are going to be more wavy. And as long as it's like you get a general idea of the bangs, a general idea of the wavy hair, a general idea of the pigtails, then it's like, you're good. But if you don't have those, then it also just looks like that the character either has a different hairstyle, which is fine if you can pull it off, or the character just feels a little off. So it's that balance between not doing every exact strand exactly how it is, and getting all the general parts right that still make that character feel like themselves. Color helps a lot too, for sure. Fair's fair, you found the angle for me. Thank you, Stockler. Wouldn't say detective, I asked on AK server. Happened that mod was online, you sent me the link. Thank you! Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, that's... okay. That's gonna be overlapping, so I need to have that on a separate layer. This is the same heart clip that is on her collar. Keep forgetting the words for things today. The most defining elements in there, so it feels and looks like them for the most part. I get that. Thank you, Star. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think the thing is, like, when you're finding your own style, you'll have your own way of doing the different approach. I think that when you're starting out with artwork, it's very natural to just stick with what the original style is, because you don't want to stray too far when you're still trying to either learn the character or trying to get a better sense of your own artwork. Even though I've been doing this for a long time, I still feel like that when it comes to human characters, I am still in the ballpark of needing to be very close to their official artwork, because most of my training is in furry. Most of my training is in furry work, and as a result, I am still learning a lot about human designs. So if you give me a furry character, I know how to do that in my own style. When it comes to a human design, I make it pretty dang close to the original. Because it's a training and a comfort level thing, right? Alright, this has another clip here. But can you see how on the line art we're still not making it like super specifically perfect? And it feels fresher that way too. It's probably the most important takeaway here. Because we're able to make it feel fresher by not making everything so distinctly intensely crisp. But yeah, I think that the defining elements are like that, you know, another really important reason for the defining elements portion is if you're doing stuff like an emote, right? Or a chibi. Learning how to simplify without drawing every single detail, which I don't do yet. I still draw in every single detail, every single belt buckle in like a detailed, full proportion image of a character. I will still try to fit into the chibi. Because I always am like, oh, there's missing too many details, but it's like, realistically, as long as it has all of its main components, you're probably okay. Like, me, for example, right? Like, as long as we've got rainbow ears and wings and a tail, that's like the most important part. You'd be amazed how many people just don't bother with the wings, though. Sometimes the people are just like, oh, I am not good at drawing wings, so I'll just not draw wings. I'm like, I would have been fine with just like a, you know... Star, if one were to start to do art, if you want to learn art, how would you recommend it, or what would be the best way to start? If you're just starting and you want to start, like, from scratch, honestly, same advice that you're gonna get from any professional. It's boring. It's boring and people don't like doing it. But learning to draw cubes. Really, learning to draw cubes. couple it with things that you want to learn to draw, so you're not constantly bored. Even if you're not as good as those things, you don't want to bore yourself to tears and end up hating art in general. But you really, if you're a beginner artist, you really, really, really have to draw cubes. Dunstan cube? No, not necessarily. You really have to draw cubes, because cubes define your understanding of 3D space. Let me give you a quick example. This cake here, I know it's really rough because we just sort of threw it in with the color, but when I was drawing the cake, I was thinking of it as a cube, right? We have this line here. This line... It would help if I were doing this on a layer where you could actually see what I was doing. A line here. A line here. I'll exaggerate it a bit just to get it across. Here. Here. This is a cube. It's a crooked cube, but it is a cube. And then if you were to do it, if you were to be able to see through it, it would look like this. That's what it would look like in 3D space. So you have to learn cubes. You have to really... And when you learn to draw cubes, you can also learn to draw a mannequin, right? So let's say you have a stick figure. Let's say you have like, oh my gosh, I'm still learning how to do these. So bear with me here. Bear with me here. I'm still learning proportion. But essentially, if you have a stick figure, about here to the elbow, here to the wrist, at the crotch area, right? You have this stick figure character. You don't have to know how to do this immediately. This is later down the line. But the main thing is that if you learn cubes, like let's say you're doing these legs, you're adding these legs as rectangles, then what will happen is that if you want to have that leg in motion, then you're going to need to learn cubes, because you can break it down like this. Let's see here. And now, let's say you have a foot here, right? Now you have a base of, like, a running person, or a leg in the air. And you're building that with cubes. Cubes are very, very, very essential. The first thing that you learn when you are learning art is you learn about perspective. You first learn 1-point perspective. So you have a horizon line, right? And you'll learn about the cube and how it goes back into space, right? Seeing it in 3D. And then as it moves away from the horizon line here, you'll have this understanding of a cube in 3D. Learning first point perspective, 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and cubes. You can build so many things when you understand this. It's very, very, very important to understand how to think in 3D. That is what will give you the realism for anything you ever want to draw. And then when I'm doing something like Minto, when I am figuring out her face like this, let's see here, there's a glow layer, that's not what I want. Mess this one up a little. She's essentially a box. You have to learn box. Box is very important. If I'm doing this part here, this is a box. You get to the point where you don't have to draw the box every time you want to draw an arm, but you have to understand how it functions. You have to be able to see it mentally. Didn't know Mint was a Minecraft villager. You can't take the MGS fan from the box. Very true. Good one. Alright, take care, Trion. Have a good rest of your day. So that is essentially it. You have to master the boxes. Boxes are everything. Boxes determine everything. They make your work look less flat. Or try to figure out what the heck is happening here. Yeah, do some, Sorosia Redgrave. Search 1-point perspective. Do some practice with 1-point perspective. And then do 2-point. 3-point's a little harder. But just do 1-point and 2-point perspective of boxes. That is the best way to start. You have to train your brain to understand. Also, when you're just learning to draw in general, practice just doing straight lines. Practice just getting your hand used to doing straight lines. See, I haven't done this in so long that they're all getting a little crooked. But just get your arm used to it, basically, right? Get your arm used to the flow of straight lines. Do scribbles, like this. Just do scribbles. Try to keep them around even in height. Just do scribbles. Lots of exercises. Now that I've scribbled all over Mint's face. Sorry, Mint. There we go. But yeah, Sorosia, if you ever want to show off your progress or practices or ask art questions or whatever, then in the Discord, we have lots of people who are also beginner learning artists, and we can definitely help each other, give advice, etc., etc. I can't always give like one-on-one stuff if I'm not just doing it really quick on stream. But there's a lot of people who can also give input and advice too. And we do have a lot of beginners who are learning from each other, so it is all good. But I won't lie that it can be a lot. It can be... Fundamentals are not the most fun thing. So you have to balance it with stuff that you like. Dad's a self-taught professional. He actually never bothered with, like, skeletons or cubes and stuff. His anatomy is insanely good. Well, you know what? Some people are Mozarts and some people are Salieri. I am more on the Salieri side. Some people are Mozart. My biggest accomplishment will be drawing a cube with straight lines, or drawing a straight line in general. I have very shaky hands thanks to work. it's definitely a practice thing. It's definitely something that you get, you have to sort of, like, train yourself to do it. You got to the point that you're happy with your art consistently? That's amazing! Can you teach me how? You're at the point where you are happy with your art consistently, and then you say that you're too lazy to make art. Oh! You don't need motivation! You don't need motivation to make art! If I needed motivation to be a commission artist, I would starve. That is the biggest myth in the art world. That is 100% the biggest myth there is, that you need motivation. You do not need motivation. That is such a myth in the art world. Motivation is what holds you back. Hot take. Hot take. Motivation holds you back. I'm not kidding. I am very serious about it. Motivation holds you back. Or maybe, okay, let me add, seeking motivation holds you back. Not the motivation itself, obviously, but, well, no, dependent on motivation. I get it, if you're waiting for motivation, you won't get anything done. Exactly. Exactly, 100%. If you wait for motivation, you will never get any work done. So it's not the motivation itself that's bad, but depending on motivation, that is a death trap. That is a death trap for art. It is so easy to say that you can't do it without motivation. And it is one of the hardest parts of art. And it's one of the things that I'm not good at either. Because, obviously, if I didn't struggle with this, then I would have no problem doing, like, a piece a day, right? Like I was just saying. So, if I want to do this thing, like this operator a day challenge that I was talking about earlier, I have to do it with zero motivation. And in some days, probably with zero energy. It's one of those things where a lot of people burn out, don't want to do it, are too tired. It's so hard to force yourself to do on a consistent basis. It's very, very hard. I have had a lot of trouble with it. I don't sketch every day. I do commission work every day, but I don't really, like, sketch every day. And that's not good. And I need to fix that myself. So, you cannot wait for motivation. It will hurt you. Also, hello, Airtane. Welcome back. What is the flip side of having zero motivation? What do you mean the flip side? I tried doing things with zero motivation once, and it burnt me out for like 3 months because I hated every single step of it. Well, you can choose to not hate things while not being motivated. I mean, there's something a little deeper if you also hate. The negative effect of zero motivation? Well, okay, I think you guys are taking this as like an all or nothing thing. When I say that you have to work without motivation, there shouldn't be a point where you never have motivation. I'm just saying that you need to get to the point where you're doing stuff even if you are too tired and not motivated. But it shouldn't be a hellish torture for you. It shouldn't get to the point where nothing motivates you at all. That's a lot deeper, and I'm not specially authorized to be able to give any good advice on that. My personal belief is that some people feel the need to art, be it visual, audio, written, etc. They will always do their best to move forward in art, and then some get sporadic urge to pursue. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I actually believe that that the human species needs art, or needs some form of creativity. I don't care what kind it is, but I think that the human species needs to express themselves in some form creatively. And if more people did, then we would have less wars. I wholeheartedly believe that. Because you wouldn't be destroying stuff that you've worked for, right? That you've worked really hard for, or on. I genuinely believe that if more people pursued creative endeavors in any form at all, that society would just be in a better place. When hobbies start feeling like a chore? In this case, it was because I took some destructive criticism personally. You mean constructive criticism? You start hating it a lot. Well, okay, so that's a lot deeper. That is something where you are... If you destructive criticism? I don't know what that means. Destructive criticism? Like they damaged your artwork? Or it just was badly said? Bad criticism? Like unhelpful criticism? Just hate, I think? Criticism for the sake of criticizing. What, like on the internet? Or just like a bully? But how long ago was that? You said yourself that you're now happy with everything that you make. You've gotten to the point where you're now satisfied and happy with the work you make. So, now that you're satisfied and happy with the work you make, what stops you now? I agree partially. I think it depends on a person. Personally, I might have no motivation, but after I start anything, I may get stuck for like 7 hours doing that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why when you're doing like daily sketch stuff, what they say, like, you know, if you're really having trouble doing drawing every day, then you just start off with drawing a line, right? You just start off with drawing a line. And your body will just be like, well, I can do more than a line. This was not with drawing, it was with 3D modeling? Wait, I'm getting so confused. Did you just hate to create in general? Okay, so you had this thing that was 3 years ago where you had some negative criticism and it threw you into a bad place. I understand that. You're now saying that you've gotten to the point where the work that you make is always making you happy and satisfied, and you feel like that you like the outcome of all of your work, but you still don't want to make any of it. I feel like I'm missing something here. Let me see here. Alright, let's do another layer, I think. I feel like you can't perform at your fullest without motivation, and that leads to sloppy work. I really think that that is something that your brain is telling you. I get him. I had something similar. Younger Stalkler got scourged and took it to his heart, and it shaped how he proceeded going forward with it. I do understand it, but I think the problem that I'm, like, not understanding correctly is that you are at a point where you're happy with everything you make. I would love that if I was happy with everything I make. So you're at the point now where you're happy with everything you make, but you don't like making any of it? I'm having a really hard time understanding. Yeah, I think you're right, ZM. I don't think I'm at a point where I can, I think this is above my level of understanding. I like the result, I detest the process. I mean, I guess so do animators. I think most animators hate the process. Well, not every animator, but I know a lot of animators hate the process, but they do it for the final result. Obviously, some animators genuinely do love the process. Yeah, I think this kind of goes above what I understand then. But I think that in a general sense, for a general artist just starting out, my advice is to not wait for motivation. In a very, generic sense. Motivation becomes self-perpetuating as you learn. You're learning more, so you want to do more. Yeah, I think that's true, too. I think that there are days where you just do not have the motivation to make things, and there are times where you do have to force yourself, though. And I'm saying this as somebody who, you know, doesn't always want to draw every single day, right? Even if it's like a full-time freelance job. There are times where you just do have to sort of push yourself into doing it. But even if people are not doing it for a job, I still stand by the same, because it's so easy to just get into a bad habit of just not drawing for days, weeks, months on end. And that is my main point when I'm talking about how you can't seek out motivation. False Star always wants to draw every day. It's just a matter of what she wants to draw. The problem is, most of the time, I'm doing commission work. So then it's like, oh, but you haven't done any sketches today. It's like, I don't want to do sketches. I've been working hours on commission work. And then you get to the point where you're not improving as much because you're not doing, like, study work. You're getting commissions done. And you do, like, don't get me wrong, you do learn as you are doing commissions, but it's not, like, a dedicated study. You know what I mean? So, doing the work is not the same as doing dedicated study time. I am still copying this line for line. I've got to figure out how to change this. Probably just adding more extra strokes, honestly. Adding extra strokes will probably help make it feel a little bit more different. When I become a bigger content creator, I'll definitely make content on a day with with zero motivation, but to be honest, I think it comes naturally, like breathing. You don't think too deep about it. Eventually it will. When you're starting out, it's really hard, though. Eventually, yeah, it'll feel weird, for example, with drawing. If you just miss a drawing day, something will feel very off. But in the beginning, you do have to sort of force yourself into doing it. It doesn't come naturally in the very beginning. But the issue that I have, I think that's the best way to say it, the issue that I have, is when beginners get into this rhythm of, I'm not going to, I can't, you know, continue my study because I lack the motivation to do it. And then it's like, okay, well, if we're doing this at the beginning, we are in a bad spot. So then I, you know, try to help course correct, but you can't always. You try to do what you can. I still think the world would be a better place if more people made things, though. If more people were creating things. And that goes for, like, literally anything. Whether it's working on aquariums or cooking new recipes that go beyond just, like, basic family dinner, needlepoint, writing, I don't care what it is. I think the world is better off when people are creating. Even if it's just like, you know, working on a town in Animal Crossing or Pokopia, right? It's like you just the act of creating something is just very inherently human. Agreed, I was always a fan of community stuff, creative artwork, mods, etc. I took writing last year because I became insane and I've been enjoying it. Someone with 700 hours in Animal Crossing, I'm not gonna lie, I think Bookopia is way better, to be honest. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've seen people freak out about the size of it. Does Minecraft count to the Animal Crossing Pokopia thing? I think so. I think it's kind of like a quintessential example of creativity in gaming, right? I just need to paint over this. I need to paint over this soon so I'm not, like, getting all tied up between each hair stroke here. And this is on a separate layer, right? Okay, thank goodness. Alright, let's just try to do it a little bit faster. Let me just see if I can, like, get the general feeling here, and then see if I can clean it up after. Line art is still line art. You can't rush line art in every form. But let's see if we can at least get a better idea of our line art. So that it's not so intense, right? I feel like I get to the point where the line art is like, you know, the high cortisol meme. And as long as we're careful about it, we should get to the point where we don't have to make too many changes. Right? Extra strands are also a good way to do that character model break thing that I was mentioning earlier. And the ground here is good. How tall is that supposed to be? Okay, it kind of is supposed to reach, like, a little shorter than this. See, no point in doing crazy amounts of detail if so much of it's gonna be ending up being covered up anyway, right? A little further away. Next Sunday is your birthday? Oh my goodness! Happy almost birthday. Alright, let's see. Let's get maybe like a... Hair is definitely something I want to study. Hair is a good study subject, I think. Minecraft is such a big canvas, it ain't even a canvas, it just, tells you to be yourself. That's cool. And drop, work almost done. May drop by later when still streaming. I'm probably not gonna go too much longer. I don't stream super long. But have a good rest of your day, Serosia. And again, if you want to discuss any art stuff in the Discord, you are feel free to. Alright, I think that's getting a little bit better. I'm trying to break up these hair strands so that they don't just look directly like the model art, and I think it helps to add more hair strands than necessary. It does help make it more detailed, less cartoony, I think. What's next for the art piece? I mean, I have to kind of go and line everything. I don't know why Mint took so long today. I guess I'm still just getting used to the format with Mint, and also she has some pretty dang complex clothing. Yeah, I'm trying to not be super... I'm trying to not be super... perfectionist with her. But she does have a lot of elements that are very new to me. Lots of lace. Lots of lace here. It took long today because you're dedicated to providing the highest quality for your clients, right, Star? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I still have the loose, flowy line art that I really like more, but I'm still making sure that everything looks really good, and it just, you know, takes some time, that's all. I think that the way I do line work or painting or whatever is sometimes more detailed than the official art for different gacha games. Because sometimes I'll look at some of the official art and I'm like, oh, that's actually really loose. So sometimes I even go, like, more detailed than the official gacha work. In some cases. Not necessarily with Arknights, but... Well, no, sometimes. I don't know. Like, Reed's official PNG is gorgeous, but it's actually very, very rough brushstrokes. So I'm not saying that that's, like, necessarily better or worse or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, there's where the time goes. I have to teach you a class on how to spin negative sounding things into positive things. There you go. Red says she tries not to be perfectionist, yet acts like one. It's a learning process. It's a learning process. It doesn't happen automatically, and it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't happen automatically. We learn, we grow, we understand how to improve. It's all good. We improve for client, we improve for ourselves, we learn, we then share experiences. It's all good. It's a learning process. You keep using those words. Yeah, I do. I use those words. I think they're important words. Right, Vessa? I think those are important words. I think these are important lessons for the bunnies too. So, you know what? Darn it, her hair is turned and that makes the bow turned. I was gonna say, it wasn't even me saying it this time. It's all good. Last time learning process gave you PTSD, I went AFK during Sea of Thieves and made you drive the ship. Yeah, that's not the best type of learning process. You didn't crash, it was fine. I get so confused sometimes where it's like, I look at like Zodiac things and it's like, you're supposed to be like a leader who can take charge of things, and I'm like, no. Alright. I didn't rough out the sketch for the other side of the hair, did I? I will force you to be a leader and in charge of things! It's like, why are you a VTuber? My Zodiac said so. You know what it sounds like? What? Like a fun Monday stream. What do you mean by that, huh? Zangetsu is here right now. He'd be making jokes about that fortune-telling organization thing in Limbus. I don't know the fortune-telling one. All I know is the time one. You can tell him, see what he says. Maybe when the work list gets down, we can turn to an occasional game stream on Monday. And probably not Sea of Thieves. I can stream see these. Oh my gosh. Yeah, once I'm done with this commission and one or two others that are sort of in the off-stream stuff, then maybe we can go back to doing like maybe a non-AK game type of thing, like we did with Hamtaro and stuff. Actually, that might be fun. I think that Hamtaro was pre-AK, so it might be fun to do like the next Hamtaro game maybe, or something to that effect. I don't know, there's a lot of different stuff we could do. What? No. No, Daho. No. That will not be on the agenda. No, thank you. Don't read that, it was Tavessa. Man, I can't tell what the color is. Hang on. I have to stretch the color a bit so I know what I'm working with. Where's the color? Mint, where the heck is your color? How is this possible? Where's the color? What? Huh? How can that disappear the whole thing and yet there's no layer for the color? What? Is it duplicated? Where the heck is this? How can I make the whole layer disappear and then I can't individually erase the color? What? What is going on? How does it even work? It's gotta be like, the heck? Oh wait, here, okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. There we go. Jeez. That was weird. Alright, there we go. Now we can see it a little easier, huh? Move this back a little. Move this over a little. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing. We're good. This truly is our learning experience. Lesson learned, name the layers? I can't name the layers. I don't want to name the layers. I'm already on like layer 300. I don't want to name the layers. If I'm not doing live 2D... Layer what? I mean, yeah, it's a lot of layers. What can I say? Probably not 300. What are we at? What are we actually at? We are on... Oh, that's not bad. We're only on 73. Bet my sketch is on layer 37. How are you? Okay, do you want to know what? Do you want to know what it's on? Do you want to know what it's on? Take a guess, guys. Take a guess. $36. $36. Dang, Vesta! Oh my gosh. Go buy a lottery. Good job, Vesta. That was incredible. Have you ever considered making a Vesa good luck charm asset to have on screen during gacha? I actually do want to make a one of the emote sketches that I have into a an asset, but I hadn't gotten around to it. And no, I don't think I'll be able to do it in time for Mystery Banner. Although maybe I should. We need the new emotes. I know! I know, that's why I'm looking at the Flametail one. Because that's the style I want to do it in. Painterly, but also not crazy. The Flametail one is so good. Thank you again for that, Stockler. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very, very much.
C Plus Hero just supported the Prismatic Fox for 3. Roku Nana.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the oh. Oh, did you just get possessed by the spirit of Dao? Oh my god. I can't. It's Lilith? I mean, you guys are all in the same family. I can't keep track anymore. Oh my gosh.
C Plus Hero just supported the Prismatic Fox for 3. It's a learning process.
I don't even know how to respond to this. I don't even know how to respond. Why are you calling me? I didn't even say it this time. Because I don't know what to do. Because I just, like, said your name in panic. Oh my gosh. It was just a reaction. Oh. That was something. Oh. Ah. Thank you for the Kofi Zero. Oh my gosh. Wait, where's the... Did I make these two? Alright, this needs to be shorter.
C Plus Hero just supported the Prismatic Fox for 3. I am not possessed by Deho, but more that I have a bunch of pebbles running my mind.
Okay, not possessed by Daho, or Deho, apparently. More so possessed by Bijou. Oh my gosh. Amazing. The TTS says Deho. Just adds a Y in there on its own for some reason. I don't know what's going on either. Deho, okay then. Daho, cute bunny gremlin stargazer. Beloved, Deho, eldritch god monster son of sin must be destroyed. Oh my gosh. It does kind of sound like a eldritch god for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Is there something you need to tell us? For legal reasons, do not compare me to eldritch gods. I'd rather keep living in the mortal soup before I have it. Okay, now that just sounds like Lillian. What? Big eldritch marshmallow. What, let's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That was technically an eldritch god. You sure do love Ghostbusters reference? What other times have I made a Ghostbusters reference? But also, yeah, probably. From the direction the live took, I feel like I'm sleeping. This is a fever dream. If you had to battle Lillian or Daho, what would you choose to fight? I feel like Lillian is a lot scarier, outwardly. But Daho has also, done some freaky stuff too. Lillian is definitely more outwardly scary. Daho is more like, I don't know. Daho's gotten possessed by a lot of strange things. I feel like it would be harder to fight Daho. Lillian's a scary-looking goth who isn't that bad to deal with. Daho's the innocent-looking kid with a collection of bones somewhere. Yeah, that's a good description, honestly. Daho's presence does inflict psychic damage. Yeah. We had, like, a possessed mirror at one point. That was freaky. Day-ho. Alright, have a good day, Sierra. Have a good day. Day-ho, that is an interesting one. Also, watch out with the numbers. They will kill you, and I can't stop them if they try. Have a warm pillow. Oh my gosh. Alright. Hair is basically done. Needs to go further downward? What is happening here? This needs to be curved a little more. And that seems like about right for where it would be on her head. The rest is all behind, so I can't really tell. I kind of have to approximate it. Wow, let me think here. Guys, there's so much frill. There's so much frill. Alright, this I kind of want to see if I can lift a little bit okay, see how the shadow is like kind of being wacky here? I want to see if there's a way that I can like kind of move the lace so that it can follow that? I think that's possible. Because I kind of, like, approximated the shadow really roughly. I'm wondering if there's a way that I can, like, make the shadow in the color where it needs to be. I don't know how to explain it. See if I can just follow the pattern that I made, basically. Which would require this to have to... It's probably doable. It's just hard because it's completely flat. If I did something like that, maybe? So it just had like a little bit of a lift, and then goes back and around. And it creates a little bit of a visual interest, right? And then this gets the part where as it curves over, it's just gonna be layered. And what I'll probably do is just, you know, I'm not being super careful with the line art when it comes to the lace. Because what I will probably end up doing is roughing in where the color needs to go. And then painting the lines that are in black here. I'll probably paint them in like a blue and just like rough them out with a lot of color and texture as a distraction. As a strategic distraction. Probably the best way to go about it, I think. And this part here, that's sort of line upwards. Trying to see if I can make a color difference here between the light and the shadow. I accidentally did the shadow color a little bit choppy, but it looks really cool, so I want to see if I can find a way to keep it. And then it feels like it has a little bit of thickness, you know? The rest is going to be a little hard to follow, but it's okay. There's a little ghost on the edge here too, I think. It was supposed to be in the center. Can't really. Does he have an open mouth or closed mouth, or do I not? Can I not tell? I guess I can't tell. I think it's cat mouth. Really hard to see though. Something like that. Well, we're still learning. We're still figuring out how much work we can get done on the line art side of things, right? I'm still experimenting and figuring out what works best. I think we'll probably stop there today. I think what I will try to attempt doing is doing a lot of the line art off stream. And then I think that, I think we will try to do a little bit of cleanup. And then, yeah, I think we're just, what day is it? Let me see here. Alright. It's ideally a Wednesday thing. I'm going to potentially not do another stream of this, depending on how much I have to get done. The main thing that I think we need to focus on is I need to make sure that I have the energy to go back into Near Light tomorrow. So I think with that, we will step away for today, and I'll just do a lot of the line work off stream. But I think we are slowly, gradually getting more used to doing the line work on stream, doing a little bit more work on stream. It's something that is evolving, which I think is good. So I will see you guys all in the Discord. I will see you tomorrow for Near Light. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And well, thank you so much, and all the best.